Hey there, native fish people. I'm going to show you how I start a culture of microworms. Okay. The first thing you're going to need is a starter microworm culture, or just a little bit from somebody else, or if you've already got a culture, I'm just going to show you what I do to renew to start a new one. So, first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a container. This is just an old lunch meat container. It's been washed out, and everything. All right. You can get containers like this, from recycled lunch meat, or your local dollar store will have like a 3-pack of these. Similar size, maybe a little bigger. But that's the first thing you're gonna need. And what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna need something to punch holes in the lid. Right here, I just got. I don't know if you can see that on there, but there's just a pin. I'm using the pliers to hold it because it's fairly small, and I want to make sure I got a good grip on it. But you just want to poke holes in the top. This allows airflow into your culture there, so that your culture doesn't suffocate and die. But you don't want holes too big because you don't want flies to get in there and lay eggs, and then you'll have maggots growing. So just punch a bunch of holes. If this thing would cooperate. Yeah, a sewing needle also works fine. A safety pin, a small nail. They all work. You just need some holes in the lid. So that way air gets into your culture. Alright? Now that we got that, we need to start your culture. Next, you're going to need some oatmeal. The minute oats, the quick oats, is what you need. It's grind, so this way, because it mixes better. You can use a whole oats, but you'll have to cook it down. This is going to show you how to do this without having to cook it. And you're just going to want to take your container and put enough oats in there. Maybe a little more, a ½ inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. You don't need a whole bunch, but you need enough that's going to feed the culture. Okay. So once you got that enough oats in there, you're going to need some bottled water or some RO water, something that doesn't have any chlorine or any heavy metals or anything in it. I just use bottled water I buy from the store, so that works. All right. And you're going to want to add some water to this. Just do a little at a time because you don't want to get it too moist. You want it kind of thick, sticky, and a little bit on the wet side. But you don't want it too wet because if you got too much water in there, you're going to drown your worms because their waste product, they produce a lot of liquid. So, but yeah, if you start out too watery, you'll end up drowning your worms here in a little while. Once you got a little bit of water in there, start mixing your oats. And you'll just add a little bit more at a time. Until it's about to where you want it, where you would eat it. It's not real runny, but it's not really dry either. And you may not get it right, perfect your first few times. This took me a while to get it to where I knew to what I needed it to be. Just a tad bit more. And just mix it real well. Make sure you get all the oats down in there, because if you don't get it mixed very well, any dry oats in there will end up soaking up the water. When you think you got it looking good, then you leave it set, any of those dry oats will finish up soaking up the water, and then it may not be wet enough. Okay, I'm going to show you here. You want it to look like this. I mean, it's damp, but it's not super wet. See that? Just about right. So, alright, once we got that, you're going to take, and you're going to need some yeast. And you don't need a whole bunch of yeast. It's just a pinch. Too much yeast, and you're just going to end up It's probably going bad faster here, you know, get some mold growing, but you know, just a pinch, just a little bit on top, you know, and that's all you need. Okay. And once you get there, you take your microworm culture, your old one or your new one or whatever, and you just scoop the top. Or if you bought a starter culture, then you know just take it and put it in there and spread it around the top. Okay, spread it all over the top of it. All right. See, I don't know if you can see the darkness in there. That's just my old culture. Just spread some in there, and then that's it. And then what you're gonna do is just you're gonna put your lid on it, and you're gonna set it somewhere where it stays cool. And it doesn't get too warm. You don't want to put it in a hot location, but just a cool, dry area. I keep mine out here in the garage, you know, with my tanks. It stays fairly cool out here. Right now, it's you know early spring, so it's still going to stay fairly cool. Summertime, I may actually end up putting these in the refrigerator. So, but that's it. That's all you have to do to start your culture. Okay. In about 2 weeks, this will be ready to feed, and you can feed from it every day. And your culture will continue to produce. A culture usually lasts anywhere from 2 weeks to, well, this is one of the exception. This one's been going for 3 months now. I've never ever had any other one last as long as this one for some reason. But yeah, usually anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks is a good timeline on how long a culture lasts. I like to start multiple of them. I actually have 2 more going at the moment too. You know, alternate them every 5 days or something. You know, start a new one, or every week or every other week. You know, so that way you've constantly got a culture going. And they're not all going to go bad at the same time. So, and to feed, the only thing you do, I'm trying to see. You see this culture here on the sides, right there. That's microworms climbing up the side of the culture there. And when they do that, when they climb all the way up to the top like that, they're ready to feed. And the only thing you got to do is take your finger and scrape the inside like that until you got some on your finger, and then you just put it in your tank, swish it around, and you're good to go. If you're a little squeamish and don't want to touch them, you can do the same thing with the spoon. Just scrape the side, or an old credit card, or something like that, or you know, a butter knife or whatever. Just scrape the side and then swish that around in your tank. Or you could also do it in a cup of water, so that way if you get any debris, you know, some oats or something in there, you can get those out before you dump them in your tank. But yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it's a real simple culture to do. It's pretty much, you know, goes by itself once you start it. I mean, you just set it and let it go. And one last thing, you guys, on your cultures, they'll have like a yeasty smell, you know, an oaty, wheat, yeasty smell. And you'll know when they start going bad, because they'll start really stinking really bad. The smell will change from when you start it there. But I don't know if you guys see that. See that shimmering? Those are the microworms. And as you can see, they are everywhere in there. Millions of them, millions. If you like, you know, don't forget to hit the like button and share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.